Alabama's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration and the state of California from imposing their electric vehicle mandates on truck owners and operators across the country. 24 other states have joined the legal fight, and Attorney General Steve Marshall joins us this morning to discuss. Good morning to you, sir. Welcome back to the National Desk. Tell us more about this lawsuit and the EV mandates on trucks and truck operators.
Yeah, two separate cases in which AGs are attacking the effort of both the Biden administration and the state of California to force the conversion from fossil fuel powered trucks to EVs. And not only is that right now the technology not exists for us to be able to do it, but clearly significant costs would be passed on to American consumers if this is allowed to proceed.
What does your lawsuit say?
Well, on the Biden administration is simply that the EPA is going too far by mandating certain emissions coming from heavy-duty trucks. They, in essence, are not only going far beyond what the power of Congress has been authorized, but again, the true agenda is to force manufacturers and those that are engaged in the trucking industry to convert to electric-powered trucks.
Correct.
Not only do we not have the capacity to do that in this country, but right now, the technology does not allow for this to take place.
California's rules would essentially ban big rigs and buses that run on diesel from being sold in California beginning in 2036. You know, you rarely see electric trucks on America's highways, and you say for good reason, because they are less efficient, less reliable, and more expensive. Also, people don't want them. So how can the administration force this?
Well, California is using a special exemption that was granted to them under the Clean Air Act that the Trump administration rightfully revoked. But what was designed to be able to allow for Los Angeles to deal with their air pollution problem, now California is leveraging, as you would expect the left to be able to do, to enforce their agenda. This is simply going to require anybody that drives through the state of California that has a heavy truck to be able to comply with their standards. That's where the state has gone too far, and feel very confident that we're going to be able to get a court to be able to overturn it.
And when you think about what's happening in your state, how would this move affect the trucking industry and the economy where you live?
But not only increase the costs for our trucking industry here in Alabama to be able to comply, because look, the ports of California are significant in bringing goods to our country. We have to drive to California to bring goods back in Alabama. And this is going to not only pass the cost on to those direct companies that are involved in it, but eventually it's going to make its way to the consumer. So this is something that impacts the pocketbooks of Alabamians as well as Americans as a whole.
A study by the Clean Freight Coalition concluded charging stations for a nationwide fleet of electric trucks would cost at least $620 billion by 2040. But forget the costs for a moment. More importantly, how would America's own electric grid accommodate such an influx?
Oh, it's greatly at risk. I mean, we remember the memes in California where they were attempting to use gas-powered generators to start and power electric vehicles. I mean, that is the reality, is the grid would be in jeopardy. We would see rolling blackouts, definitely in the state of California and out west, but also the impact would be felt throughout the country.
How do you feel about your lawsuit moving forward? What are your chances?
Oh, we feel very confident. We've seen this administration go far beyond what Congress has intended, and courts have become the only check that we've had. Feel good about the coalition that's put together. Nebraska has led a strong group and confident in the result that we're going to obtain.
Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall, always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. Hope you have a great week, and thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.